Well, the killing of a U.S. citizen accused of plotting terror attacks overseas now has some civil liberties groups crying foul here at home. Anwar al-Awlaki killed yesterday in a U.S. airstrike in Yemen. Intelligence officials are calling his death justified action, but several advocates, including Republican presidential candidate Ron Paul, accusing the U.S. of bypassing his constitutional rights. Let's bring in our panel. Mercedes Colwin, Fox News legal analyst. Deneen Borelli is Project 21 fellow and Daily Caller columnist, and Fox News contributor. And KT McFarland, Fox News national security analyst and host of Fox News Live's DEFCON 3. Thanks for joining us, ladies.
Our pleasure.
So I want to jump right into this very first topic. Here's what Ron Paul had to say. He said, "No one likes these kinds of people." No argument there. "But I also like the rule of law, and I like our Constitution, that you don't just go target people and assassinate them." So that's what he is calling this, an assassination. So I'll begin with you, Mercedes. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it's an extreme statement. First of all, there's so much evidence against this particular individual. The intelligence community came forward and said this is a very dangerous man who is breaching our country and is causing all these terrorist acts. It had all the power to do so. He had to be eradicated in order to make our border safe.
Deneen?
I totally agree with the decision, what was made. These men were clearly terrorists. We live in a dangerous world, dangerous society, and we had to take the necessary steps to do what we had to do to keep us safe. So I think it was the best move to make.
And I would say to you, KT, a lot of people are talking about the word treason today.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing. In 1942, we tried Nazi saboteurs. We've done this in our past where American citizens have been tried, convicted, and executed, whether it's treason or not. The problem is that in modern warfare, this is different. This is a different kind of warfare than we've fought really since we've had nation states. In the past, a guy had a uniform. You knew what weapon he had. You knew what country. You knew what border he was from.
Yeah, today they have YouTube. They have YouTube.
Well, that's another very good weapon. But what they don't is this is a borderless conflict, and it's a borderless conflict in the sense that they move freely from country to country, failed state to failed state. And if we're ever going to find them, we've got to pursue them. So I think there's plenty of legal precedent for this. It certainly is a necessity, and we ought to get it. And you know, frankly, if guys like Ron Paul say, well, there's no legal right to do this, okay, then let's make a legal right to do it. If the laws aren't there, pass new laws, because this is the future, and welcome to it. And if you're going to tie your hands behind your back in trying to deal with terrorists who travel around the world, who will target us around the world, then you're never going to win this war.
The wait-and-see attitude is not going to work. I mean, we're in a dangerous world. The one of them, Khan, he's a self-avowed...
Summer Khan,
right. He's a self-avowed traitor.
Yes.
He even said so himself. So how much more proof do we need?
Do you actually want a trial? I mean, what could possibly come of this? You're going to have a trial of this individual first?
Yeah.
I mean, we tried that. It doesn't work.
Well, you know, that's one of the reasons it's better to kill them than to try to, I mean, I hate to say that, but it's better to deal with them in that way than bring them to what kind of legal system you're going to.
So we're going to move on to our next topic, but that is certainly a good one up for debate. President Obama recently blaming America's economic problems partly on Americans, telling a Florida reporter, quote, "This is a great country. They had gotten a little, or that had gotten a little soft, and we didn't have the same competitive edge that we needed over the last couple of decades. We need to get back on track." Fair assessment, and I'll begin with you, Deneen.
No surprise here. Listen, Obama's been blaming Bush since day one, and now it's we the people. Now it's our fault, excuse me, hardworking Americans. I mean, come on. What he needs to do is reassess his policies that are coming out of the White House that he has made decisions on that are not helping employment, not helping the job situation, and you know,
But his $447 billion jobs plan this time, KT, is going to make a difference.
Oh, let me tell you, I mean, this is like, you know, on our rule and when we were raising our children was no whining, and you know, don't blame everybody else. It's not everybody else's fault. And this seems to be the Obama theme. I'm whining about this. It's always somebody else's fault. Accept responsibility. Deal with it. Like Chris Christie said the other night, we have problems, solve them. And I remember when Jimmy Carter made the malaise speech, and oh, the world is so terrible, so awful. And then Ronald Reagan came in. We didn't doubt America's leadership after that. So I think that, frankly, President Obama may go the route of Jimmy Carter. The next president's going to say, come on, let's believe in it all again.
But look at the situation. Do you think people honestly want to foreclose on their homes? They want to lose their jobs. They want to be on have unemployment for 99 weeks because that's what they're allowed. Do
Right.
they honestly don't want to work? Of course they want to work. The jobs aren't there because this administration has not provided that for the employers. It's crushing the middle class, crushing the employers that can provide those types of jobs. And frankly, that's the reason we're in this position. Don't blame us. Blame the administration for not doing the right thing for the companies that are out there to create those jobs.
And get the job done, because whining is also another definition of going soft, I think. Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking. Putting an expiration date on marriages in Mexico. We teased this, and now we're going to talk about it. A new law would let couples choose the length of their unions. Is this a good idea? Apparently, they could sign up for 2 years, and then if it doesn't work out, then they get a break, you know.
What do you do
Free
with
and
the
clear.
children?
Lord, what do you do with the kids?
What do you do
Exactly.
with the children? I mean, you're going to have a temporary, certificate for children. You're going to give them back if it doesn't work out. You don't like them. This is so loony. It's not even. It's crazy. Totally
Just
crazy.
make it no fault. And say that it just didn't work out, and then walk out when you want to. But having it preordained that you're going to split up in 2 years, it sounds a little crazy.
You'll have that thought in the back of your head. It's like, why bother? Marriage is for, two people to be committed. So with that mindset, it's like down the road, gee, I can always get out of this if I want to. So I think it's just a wrong precedent to set.
And whatever happened to for better or worse, richer or for poorer?
But you're planning
years.
ahead to fail, basically. You're planning ahead that, in 2 years this may not work out. So, we're going to have a clean break here and it's not going to be a huge mess.
How much trust can there possibly be? If you know you're going to break up in 2 years, well, then there's going to be a lot of side deals you're going to be doing, and certainly setting aside money for that
What'd
breakup.
you say? A lot of side deals you're going to be doing? Is that what you said?
Sure, with their financiers. Put this money
Oh,
aside.
okay.
Don't put it in a marital
Okay, with the
pot.
financiers.
Yes.
All right, that's where you're
Oh, no,
going with
not
that.
those
Okay.
Clean it
Although
up.
that might happen too.
Sure.
Well, millions of